Hey everybody, welcome to the Meadville Tribune Sports Podcast, Episode 1. This is our first time doing this, so we're not really settled on a name, so if any of you have an idea out there, you can email at us at sports@meadvilletribune.com or tweet at us at, what is it again? Tribune_sports, at Tribune_sports, yes. My name is Pete Chido, and I'm the sports editor here at the Meadville Tribune, and joining me today is sports writer Jordan Hansgen. How are you?
I'm good. Great start to the high school sports season. I've enjoyed a lot of it. I've had a blast most Friday nights, covering a little bit of golf too, and it's been a good start.
And you are coming off a long weekend too. How did that go?
Oh, long weekend was nice. You know, I went to my wedding and one of my friends, and it was a great way to spend Labor Day weekend.
In Buffalo. Were you in Buffalo area?
Yeah, I was in the Buffalo area. Yep.
Nice. And Matt, I would ask you, this is Matt DiGiacomo, this is our assistant sports editor, I would ask you how your long weekend went, but you worked there all weekend, didn't you?
I did, and it was long. There was a lot of stuff going on, actually, this weekend. So
Yeah, Saturday turned out to be pretty busy.
Yeah. Congratulations to Mr. Stevens for winning the McDowell Invite. That's a good way to start his season. So hopefully that's a good sign for the Meadville cross-country team. And
7th overall? You know, they graduated a lot last year. I guess we're just getting into last week. Okay, last week was week 2. It's August 3rd today that we're recording this. So we just had our second week of football in high school, first week of college football, and really the only thing going on other than that is golf right now. And then Saturday, everything else kind of started, some soccer, some volleyball, so we're still just getting into the season. But last week, what stood out to you last week there, Jordan?
Well, the game that I covered was the Sagertown-Cambridge game, and you know, Sagertown's been in dire straits, I guess, for the past few years. They've been, grinding it out, but their numbers have increased a little bit each year, and you kind of saw that early on, that the fruits are starting to, show up. They're starting to really compete with the teams that would maybe get the running clock in the second half, and this time it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Cambridge had to earn every single yard that they got, and they had to earn that win. And they did make the big plays when they needed to. I mean, credit to them. But I guess the story of that game, I really thought, was that Sagertown will be able to compete with the rest of the region. And Cambridge is no slouch. They're 2-0. They took care of business, and they good for them. But really, the Sagertown Panthers are here to play, I guess, this year, which is exciting to see.
From what you were saying, you thought Sagertown could have won that game.
I think they had a chance. Cambridge, they'll be the first to tell you that they didn't play the way that they should. A lot of penalties, a couple turnovers, a lot of stuff that they would like to have back. But good for them for getting the W when they don't play their best. I mean, that's a sign of a good team, really.
Well, they were coming off an overtime win over Girard in week 1, and then they were coming into a team that hasn't won in quite some time. That could have been a trap game for them. They're kind of almost fortunate to pull out of that and get a W there.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head who they're playing this week, but I imagine it might be I think it's Keystone.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that's
Keystone.
maybe a look ahead, or but got it done. It was a very good game, very entertaining. Big plays, couple big passing plays, and I think that region's going to be exciting all the way through. I think Maplewood's definitely the favorite. I mean, we can transition over to Matt and his Maplewood game.
Yeah, because you were at that game last week.
yeah, and unlike Jordan's game, Cochran never had a chance in that one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Cardinals, they're down. I mean, hey, it's tough to come back when you've lost your 3 best players and take on a team that's brought everyone back, including quite possibly the most experienced and best quarterback in the district.
One of them,
This is his
absolutely.
4th year. I mean, he's been doing this for some time, and I give my takeaway from that is Maplewood is very, very good, and they're very, very confident, but they're not overconfident. Even after that game, they were like, "Hey, it's a big win for us. We're going to celebrate this for 24 hours, but then we're going to find out what we're made of next week." Which is this week against West Middlesex. So they're not taking what they did against Lakeview in week 1 and Cochran in week 2. Like, this is what we are. They're still not sure what they are yet. They know they're good.
Yeah.
but they're not sure how good yet, which is good. I think that gives them something to shoot for. It's not like they're resting on their laurels, and teams that do that end up losing big games.
That's true.
So we'll see this week.
Quarterback, they're talking about J.D. McFadden. He became Crawford County's career passing record holder last week. He 4,065 for his career. Unofficially, that was when we were there Saturday. But yeah, so congratulations to him. He passed Hunter Merritt, who's now up at Mercyhurst University.
It was funny, J.D. talking about that. Saying, his football career kind of started throwing passes to his brother in his yard.
Oh,
and he broke the record on a 44-yard pass to his brother. So
oh, nice.
and then he said it'll probably end that way too, which means he's assuming that maybe his last game will be his final throw will be a pass to his brother. So it's quite possible.
That would be. We'll see how that story plays out. Yeah, I would
like to say the other thing that caught my eye was Meadville came out and surprised everyone in week 1 by beating Mercyhurst Prep, and the game you were at, they kind of was a different story.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the week 1 win over Mercyhurst Prep was a surprise to the Meadville people. I think they knew they had a better team. I think they were really excited for that game, and I think that a lot of people were overestimating Mercyhurst Prep. They graduated a ton of talent last year. They were kind of rebuilding from scratch, and I think Meadville knew they had a chance, and they went out and executed. I think they came into the Cache game feeling that they had a chance as well, but I don't think they played up to Coach Collins' expectations. Meanwhile, I thought Cache played a marvelous game. Tanner Neiman, Connie's quarterback, just had an excellent night. He had over 300 yards total, 146 rushing, 173 passing. He was just on the money all night long when he completed 16 of 21 passes, which is outstanding. And not to mention two extra point throws too. Noah Richardson had a great night receiving the ball, running it, went out of the Wildcat. They just executed a great game. I can't think of too many mistakes that they made outside of fumbling a kickoff return. They just played great. Meadville did not, and that's the result. Connie at 140-7. And they took the next chapter of this rivalry. So Meadville's got to pick it up. They got another tough week this week. They got General McLean coming up on Friday, so that's going to be one that they have to show up for. Let's see. Was there anything else that we wanted to talk about this past week? You said Saturday was a busy day. But as you already mentioned, Pat Stevens had a really nice showing at the McDowell Invitational, finishing first, 16:04. That's pretty great. That's a pretty great start to the season for him.
And
Matt Julio.
Cochran, was it Cochran? Cochran, or not Cochran?
Cambridge Springs was 6.
Cambridge Springs was 6. Sagertown,
9th.
Freshman was 9th, I think, in that race. He was in the top 25.
Hetrick's kid.
Yes,
what's his name?
He was in the
Sam. He was 16th.
16th, which was a good run for freshmen.
Yeah.
I mean,
First varsity race.
And that McDowell invite is no gimme. You gotta be there and give your 100% or else.
Yeah. Matt Julio, they're hoping he has his first full season for Meadville this year. He finished 20th for the Bulldogs at the McDowell Invitational. And as we said, Cambridge Springs had a sixth place as a team that leads our locals.
Mm-hmm.
They should be pretty good, the boys, this year. They bring back 3 state qualifiers from a year ago, and they added some pretty good new runners. And Elijah Mamula's back after taking last year off the cross country. They should be pretty solid this year. I didn't see what did the girls do. 6. Sagertown took 6. That's pretty good for them.
Yes.
Cambridge Springs 10th. Pretty good. And then Cache girls volleyball winning the Slippery Rock Invitational. That's pretty good for them too.
Yeah. And they had a good. Looks like they had a good tournament from
6-0 in pool play.
Yep. And then 3-0 in the playoffs.
Beat Reynolds, Cranberry, and Karn City. So that's a good start for them. That's going to be exciting to watch those girls out there. Both Meadville soccer teams started the season off with wins.
And the Cochran boys won the Hickory Invitational as well. So
oh, really?
that was in the following day.
Okay, wow. So that's they run around here.
Oh no.
They're good at distance running in Crawford County. You got to give them credit for that. Let's see. Next week. Next week we got a full schedule. Oh, as I said, tonight's Tuesday, so the volleyball gets started tonight. Some dual matches. Hickory at Meadville is going to be a big one. Erie first at Cockerton. Tiddie Charter at Cambridge Springs, Greenville at Lakeview. Wilmington at Maplewood. A couple good ones there. You guys will know the results by the time that this gets posted because, but we're going to be heading out to some of those games tonight. Wednesday night, Region 3 golf at Venango Valley. That's shaping up, you said, to be Sagertown's deal so far.
Yeah, I guess the school nipping at their heels is Conneaut. Conneaut brought back a lot of talent.
Yeah.
They did win the last region match. This was their mega match at Maplewood's Mount Hope Golf Course. Yeah, so Cash, I guess through two they're tied because I believe Cash came in second in the first match. So they're tied atop the point standings. I believe I think it's 11 to 11.
Okay.
Yeah, so Cash is right on their heels, but Sagertown does have the talent. I guess they have spoke about how this is a little bit of a rebuilding year. You know, they have some younger guys leading the way. Dylan Flinchbaugh is their number one, and he's I believe a sophomore. So they have some youth, but they still have the talent. Cash still needs to show it consistently, but I think that's shaping up to be a very tight race in golf.
Yeah, their leader, Alex Lyle, seems to be off to a pretty good start to the season.
For sure.
83 at Mount Hope on Friday. And yeah, Conneaut won that one. Sagertown was third, so yeah, it's gonna be a race to watch.
Yeah.
And then and other golf news, I think Meadville's playing today. I think they started out rough, the Meadville golf team, but I think their last couple mega matches they've been playing a lot better. And of course they got Ryan Ferry, who's a two-time state qualifier. He's gonna be there at the end of the year.
And he's been taking on a leadership role. Their coach cited that a lot, that he's been teaching the younger guys and really making his presence known to build that program up to his standard that he's really set for that program.
That's great to see that him involved, because I just remember him being just a young kid, just a really promising young golfer and kind of quiet kid, but to see him turn into a leader, that's really cool to see.
Yeah, I was going to mention that leadership thing when I went up to the country club the other day for the region match. Coach Fred Garvey couldn't be there the next day for practice, so Ryan was going to take everyone out and work with them.
Oh.
So, I mean, he was going to get them there in the morning, and they were going to go through and practice some short game stuff, and he was going to go through it. But he was talking to kids right there about, hey, you got to learn what your club's distances are, because they were talking about how they flew greens or whatever. He goes, you got to learn. And it's nice. And Fred, he said, Fred even said he has a running bet with them that if they can break anytime they break 350, he'll buy the team lunch or go jump in the lake.
Oh, that's right. I remember hearing about that. Let's see. And then Thursday we got some more girls volleyball. Warren at Maplewood, Girard at Union City, Meadville's at Corey. That's going to be another good one. So some exciting volleyball stuff. And then Friday, football Friday. Meadville at General McLean. Like I said, that's going to be a test for General McLean's always good. And that's
region game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the start of the region game, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Titusville at Cockerton. Titusville, I believe, is 2-0 right now.
They've been highly touted. They've been people have been impressed with them, at least through camp. That Titusville's got a much better team, much stronger than I guess they were last year.
Yeah,
so
I think they're coming off a 2-win season.
Yeah.
They've already met that through 2 games.
Right.
That's good for them. As you mentioned, Keystone at Cambridge Springs. I don't know anything about Keystone.
So I guess Cambridge Springs will show us what they got.
Yeah.
For that game, we'll see what they have.
Northeast at Conneaut. That's going to be interesting. I mean, Northeast is they're 0-2, but they got a really good quarterback. So Eagles are going to have to defend the pass, and he could also tuck and run. That Skrelka, I believe, is how you pronounce it. For
but that will be an interesting test for Cash. We get to see really which team are they? Are they the team that loses to Oil City, that loses to the teams that the other big schools maybe, or are they the team that showed up in Meadville and took care of business?
Yeah.
That's the interesting test with Cash.
Sagertown at Reynolds, that's not going to be an easy one for them. I think Reynolds is going to have a pretty good year. They got a lot of people back in that league.
Their quarterback last year, I think, transitioned into a running back position.
Oh, is that right?
He's a very good athlete, very fast, and Sagertown's going to need all their defensive capabilities to hold off that team.
Yeah, they're 2-0. They beat Slippery Rock, which is not easy to do. They beat Slippery Rock. Reynolds did. So that's going to be a tough one for Sagertown. The other one that's going to be, I think, of a lot of interest is Maplewood at West Middlesex. It's a non-region game. Maplewood's 2-0. West Middlesex is 2-0. They're a Mercer County team. Those are always, a team to watch out for. And I think that's going to be. I think this, as you were saying earlier in the podcast, that's going to be the benchmark at this point of the season for Maplewood.
Mm-hmm. I mean, whenever the Crawford County teams or the premier team of the group plays against the Mercer County teams, that's where the Mercer County teams have had the Crawford County team's number for a while now, and Maplewood, this is Maplewood's benchmark. This is probably their best team they've had in a while, and they're playing against one of the premier teams from the South. I mean, let's see what they got.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game Friday. Okay, I mean, that was it for the coming week. We got some soccer on Saturday as well, and then we got next week, but we'll deal with that in future episodes, hopefully. Matt, what are you looking forward to next week? Anything in particular standing out to you?
You know what? The whole week looks like it could be. There's questions. You know what I mean? Every volleyball match, you're like, well, what team's going to show up here? What team's going to show up here? Football, you got a couple of the same things. I'm probably most interested to see how Meadville rebounds. After having the big up and then a huge down, can they at least get back to having a focused performance in this week here, and hopefully get a win out of it.
Jordan, anything you got on the radar?
Just piggybacking off of that, I think the story this week is going to be Maplewood traveling to West Middlesex. I think that's they're the favorite in their region, and they get a taste of what the district playoffs will have to offer if they want to make a big push into that. I mean, West Middlesex ended Union City's season last year, so they get a taste of a road test against the team that they might see in the playoffs again. So.
We didn't even talk about yet was Penn State football started Saturday. Journey Brown, Meadville graduate Journey Brown, had a what looked like an outstanding game. Of course, everyone in a Penn State uniform had an outstanding game against Idaho last week, but the former Bulldog, 5 carries, 38 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He also caught 2 passes for 31.
Caught 2 passes for 31, so he was a big part of that offense, and that's fun to see. Is him is that number 4? Just breaking free of the defense and getting into that end zone.
Yeah, and they got a game they should have a pretty easy task with this week as well. It's not going to be as easy as Idaho, but it's a team. On paper, you look at it, they have a pretty big advantage. So I don't know what exactly that means, but I'm hoping to see a little more Journey this time through.
So he's talking about Buffalo. Penn State's playing Buffalo. Now, you're from Buffalo, Jordan, but you went to Wake Forest. So where do you stand on Buffalo? Do you support them?
My dad and my brother both went to Buffalo, so I watch a lot of their games. Okay. I know a lot about their team. Their quarterback is a stalwart from a local Buffalo high school. So, I mean, he's pretty tall, pretty athletic, but, I mean, he's never played any competition to the level of what Penn State has to offer. I mean, Buffalo did go, I believe, 10-3 last season, but they did lose a lot of their talent. I expect Penn State to win pretty handily, but I think Buffalo will be a better test for that program. I think that Buffalo still has some talent from their last year's team. They are good at running the ball, and they are good at stopping the run.
Okay.
So it will be an interesting test, I think, more for Penn State's quarterback Clifford than maybe necessarily Journey Brown and company in the running game, because that's, I think, what Buffalo is going to key to stop.
All right. And then next week, Allegheny gets started. I believe Edinburgh gets started. There's some local college action there as well on Saturday. Let's see. That's about it. Anybody have anything to add? Anything on your mind that you guys want to talk about? Excuse me. No.
I think it's been a good start to the season. I think we'll learn a lot more about the teams as the years go on. As the year goes on. I think that's just normally how it goes. The fall, especially, it's kind of it's just a new start, blank slate for a lot of the programs, a lot of the teams, and I look forward to covering it. I look forward to keep doing this podcast. The brand new. Let us know how we do. What do you think we can improve on?
Or don't.
Or don't, keep that to yourself, whatever.
Again, if you do have anything to ask us or anything you want to correct us on or anything, you could email us at sports@meadvilletribune.com. You can also reach us on Twitter at Tribune_sports. Is there any other way you could call us if you want, 724-6370, extension 274.